Hi, I'm Dr. Deepa Shetty here and I'm speaking from my clinic called Saukyam. The mission of Saukyam is well-being of all. Today I'm going to speak on something which we deal in our life on a daily basis. That's the conflict, the fights which happen in our personal life with our loved one, the fights which happen with our bosses in our professional life or with our clients, and the conflict which arises between two friends or neighbors. Many a time we face this situation so often that sometimes we don't want to deal with them, so we withdraw from the conflict, or we come to a compromise where we try to not have any kind of disagreement and quarrels, so we run away from the conflict, or we may just sit there and force our opinion so much on others that there is never a conflict arising. So whatever it is, what is the way out of this in a way that can make you feel not so good? I mean, that can make you feel really peaceful, that can make you feel really heard, that can make other person feel heard by you, and that can make you at the end of it that I have achieved more bigger than something in this life other than winning the conflict. So first and foremost thing is that whenever there is some conflict occurring or whenever there is some kind of difference of opinion occurring, what is important is you really understand that there is a high emotional upsurge at that time. So whenever there is a very high emotional upsurge and whenever there is a situation which is like asking your attention for your emotions and feeling, and you're feeling it inside your body, importantly it's important that you remain there calm and quiet, see that's happening to you, and don't ever have any conversation at that point of time, because you may end up saying or doing something which you would regret later. So with a high emotional upsurge, keep your body under a calm environment. Come back and talk if you want to talk, but don't talk at that point of time. Later on, when you're dealing with this, first and foremost, I think first thing you have to ask is that what is the purpose of this conversation that I'm having with this other person? There's a conflict which has occurred, like a simple thing as I want to have pizza today, and my daughter wants to have a burger today, okay, or I want to have a pizza and my husband doesn't want to have it at all, and I say that I want to have pizza and he will say that I don't feel like having one. So you may end up having an argument out there. What's important out here is that how do you agree, and how do you agree to disagree also, and how do you do that? First and foremost, never ever, if you feel something, keep it to yourself. Agree to something which you don't want. Because in that case, the conflict may not be outside, but you are internalizing those conflict inside. And in that way, on the long term basis, when you don't speak out and you keep it inside you and you have to do things which you don't have to do, you feel voiceless, you feel helpless, and a part of yourself is chipping off every day. So whenever there is a conflict, in what you have to do is, maybe if you are not able to speak out because of the emotional upsurge out there and you may end up saying something, rather than externalizing it in a way that can make you feel not good and regret later, or internalizing in a way that can make you feel voiceless and that may feel you not great, both the situation, it's important that you learn to say things that will make you feel comfortable within and make the other person also comfortable. So it's important to see why this fight is occurring, why this conflict is occurring, what is the purpose of it. Are you going to sit, or do you want to win the whole conflict because you want to show your point of view only, or you want to see the other person's point of view too? And that point of view can be generous, that point of view can be something which you don't agree, but that point of view is a point of view of that person, and it matters to that person whether he says it in a way, because he wants to just win the argument, or he or she says it because they are not feeling hurt by you. Whatever is the reason, first and foremost understand and see what can be the reason for that person to say what they are saying. And later on, if you don't agree to what they are saying also, you may say it in a very calmer and a very neutral tone. First, the negative energy around the conflict has to dissolve. To get it into a neutral zone, listen to the person, Think of a generous reason why that person must be saying this. Understand the perspective. And if you are even if you disagree, once the whole thing has become neutral, then put your positive intention and say what you want to say with the purpose of really making yourself heard. That will really give the person about your intention about the whole thing. Sometimes it is just nothing. Sometimes it's all about कि मेरी बात भी तो सुननी चाहिए किसी ने. I should be also heard, so I want to say something. Sometimes it is just an argument which is not needed at all. So what's important is see the purpose of your difference, the conflict that's happening out there, the fight. Why are you doing it? What is that? And if it is an emotion which has not been heard for since a very long time, that's not the time you should be doing it. Later on, sit there and say it in a way that can make another person really see from where you're coming. Set up a conflict in a way that you allow the other person to give the point of view. Also, possibility to create the environment in a way that next time this conflict doesn't happen. So, what is that? That's we both are not agreeing. If I want a pizza and you don't want a pizza, it's okay. I can always have it. But if the person has a reason that eating pizza can make you really lose your health because you're suffering from acidity, probably because of the pizza. So why don't you just see that it can just not make you feel good and it's not a really good food? You may see the perspective out there and you may end up having pizza once in a week only. So you have to come to a common agreement wherein you really don't have to sacrifice yourself. At the same time, you don't have to behave that you don't care about the other person also. Relationship, whether it is professional or personal, is all about loving yourself and loving others too. Fulfilling yourself with a lot of love for your own self and sharing it with others too. Making the other person also feel valued and heard too. Unless we don't do this, the conflict will keep arising again and again, and you may end up losing the relationship also. Sometimes it's okay wherever it goes, but if your relationship is a very important thing for you, you need to nurture it, and that can happen only with love. So, next time you have a conflict, see the purpose of that conflict, how you can form a generous emotional reason for the other person to be what they are and accepting them as they are, and then seeing to it that how do you talk to that person next time and show your point of view and tell them how important for you this relationship is. And this goes for every relationship. There are some relationships which may be abusive and which may not be great, but sometimes the world can be mad at you in spite of you being very good. But that's okay. That's something you have to say to your own self. Because you need to, when some person is getting angry on you and you also get angry on them, you allow that person to change your emotional state from a happy, calm person to an angry person. Rather, you change that angry person emotional state to your emotional state of being happy and calm. And how do you do that? First, getting into a neutral zone and then changing the energy of the room and the person into what that person also will feel good about. And that can really happen, really happen when here it's a positive intention. And that can happen with lots of love to everyone. And when your disagreement also is not unkind, it's a lot of kindness and love. When you see this and when you operate from that zone and space, things can change. Trust me, it do change, and it really brings a lot of pleasantness in the relationship. Hope this video has added some value to your life, and do write in the comment section how you liked it. Thank you for listening to this video. Thanks a lot. See you again.